father, Nicholas Dewick, was one of several men who traveled around Manitoba looking for a place to establish a Christian camp where their children would have opportunity to grow. Together, the founding fathers purchased this property and were encouraged to build cottages here to help maintain a continuous presence here at the camp. Hello, my name is Sylvia Clausen. I am the youngest child of Nicholas Dewick. Camp Arnes has been part of all my life, whether it was here with the family at the cottage or as a staff kid while my mother worked in the kitchen, to then becoming a camper, to training as a counselor, teaching skills, counseling at Camp Seton, which is the horse ranch camp, to meeting my husband of 41 years here at camp. Then taking on the role of year-round staff as nursing coordinator and integrations facilitator, to now watching my children connecting with the camp, and soon my grandchildren becoming of age to be a camper here at Camp Arnes. It was a special moment of good memories for myself when my son, Jeremy, started his first staff training. We had come full circle, and I wondered what stories of faith God would show my children.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm part of the third generation of people that Camp Arnes has impacted in my life. I spent a year in the leadership training program at the time, and then my first summer in ministry was in this place, Town Hall. It was the first cabin that I've ever worked with youth in, and that means something special to me because most of my career has been working with youth in some way, shape, or form. I spent 2 summers here working as the junior unit leader, a summer as the worship leader, and also 2 years of full-time staff. And that really prepared me for a lot of the stuff that I did after. I spent several years working with Youth for Christ, helping with the drop-in center that they have in Arborg, which is fairly close to here. And I've also, right now, I've been working in inner city group homes and also in inner city academic programs. And most of the stuff that I do with that, the basics I learned right here, just in these cabins, singing at that campfire. And several seasons in this chuck wagon over there. Sorry, in that one over there. And yeah, I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world, and I hope that Camp Arnes can do that for a lot of other people.
Hi. We're Dave and Elfrida Lowen and have spent a history at Camp Arnes. Our first year was 1961 and our last was 1990. And there are many expressions that draw back memories, and here is one of them. We had special Camp Arnes garments every year, and some of them we really laugh about today, others made the summer. A memory that we would like to share. Frida, you have one.
Well, one memory that I have that just gave me excitement every beginning of the camp. On the first day when the campers arrived, some by bus, some with parents in their cars, I enjoyed watching the children being just so very excited to be at camp. They would run up the steps to the office to register and meet their counselor, and it was just the most fun experience to watch the campers arriving at Camp Arnes.
It is painful for us not to share this wonderful event with you people. We would love nothing better than to be here. But over the years, in the camping ministry, we had to make many sacrifices, and our family sacrificed the most. My first memory of Camp Arnes happened at 1957, when the founder of this camp, Reverend A.A. Craker, loaded his car with a bunch of college students one Saturday morning to go to Camp Arnes and split wood so that the kitchen would have dry firewood for the next summer. There are so many memories that we have. One of them happened just a few weeks ago. A fellow who was a camper in the late 1960s saw me, stopped and looked. "You're Dave Lowen, my camp director." I'll never forget the time I spent at Camp Arnes. I was just a little guy. I was shocked. We hadn't seen each other for 55, 60 years. And he was so excited. 3 days later, I met him again because his father lived in the same facility we do. And his brothers were with him, and he introduced me to his brothers. He said, "This is my camp director. We gotta take a picture." So they lined him up with me, took a picture. 3 days later, he's here again to continue to clean up the apartment. And he said, "Dave, I sent that picture to all my face group friends I attended Camp Arnes with years ago." He said it was so exciting. Camp is a wonderful memory. Why did I choose to tell you this story? Camp is all about building lasting relationships.
The impact of camp. Simply put, I'd say Camp Arnes was a place where I could walk with God and encourage others to grow in their relationship with Jesus. I think to the history of camp, where 10 men decided to find some land in order that they could set it apart, in order that young people could learn more about Jesus. To set something apart, that is the definition of holiness. So in part, Camp Arnes was set apart. It's holy land. And so through the decades, people have come to volunteer in order that young people could benefit and grow in their understanding of who Jesus is and grow further in their relationship with God.
My name is Eden, and my experiences at camp have shaped me in so many different ways. Just starting off as a camper at camp, and then going into their leadership and training program, to becoming a cabin leader and activity staff, to even having the opportunity to work year-round as an outdoor educator. Camp has just blessed me in so many different ways, and I have just grown so much confidence in myself and learned so many leadership skills because of the opportunities camp has given me. Not only that, but I think camp has definitely fostered a love for children for me, which has definitely helped in my career path that I've chosen now, which is in education. I don't think without camp that I would be choosing this career path, because camp gave me opportunities to teach my own skills, host my own groups, and just really step outside of my comfort space. So I definitely thank camp for everything they provided for me there. Not only that, but I have gained organization skills and a love for the outdoors, just having opportunities to go on canoe trips. And also at my time at camp, I felt I really pushed myself in my faith, because I felt inadequate of jobs that camp was giving me. Like I wasn't able to fulfill them in any way, because I was a very shy and timid person. But because I stepped out in my faith, I grew so much and made amazing memories. Not only that, but camp also created such a great community of staff, and I built lifelong friends. I grew up in a very small church where I didn't have a lot of peers my age, and I went to a public school where I didn't really connect much with the kids in my grade. So camp gave me that opportunity to really grow healthy relationships among the staff, which is something I will be forever grateful for. I recently got married, and my entire wedding party actually consisted of my friends made from Camp Arnes. So just the opportunities camp has given me, and everything that they've done in my life today will always hold a special place in my heart. I will never be able to measure or describe how much camp means to me, and I just cannot wait to see what camp has in store for their future.
Hello there, we are Brian and Lori Schlamp. We met at camp doing CWP in 1987. And theoretically, we actually didn't break rule number 9, because we didn't really start dating till several months after that. thanks to me being a little slow on the update. Anyway, we also worked at camp from 88 to 89, and I did actually a full year in between there as well.
And I worked in the city office one summer.
We have many good memories from camp. I remember meeting a lot of good people, a lot of cool people, and just building relationships with people was awesome, especially Lori. His was pretty cool. Some of the other memories for me are being able to be a ranch camp counselor, being able to be a part of the musical ride, playing football with Reg Litz, doing crazy stunts on the trampoline with Gavin Macbeth. And first year in the guys unit, when Cliff was our unit leader, we we did some pretty silly things, and then we'd always say, Cliff, it was his fault. So we had fun and he'd laugh, and yeah, those were a lot of good times. One person that I remember meeting on COP as well was Fiona Anderson. She was a new young Christian, and she had a real desire to serve God, and I nicknamed her Fonzo, and at first she didn't like it, but then she's like, okay, that's okay, because I explained, you know what, you were Fiona, but you're Fonzo because now you're my buddy, because we had a fireside on CWP, and I said some things that weren't really appropriate, and I was convicted of that because because of some of the things she said that probably wasn't right, and I apologized in front of the whole group for it, and it has changed my life into thinking, what am I saying? Why am I saying it? Be careful what you say, like even not just about young Christians, but anybody, with anybody, and that's been a meaningful impact in my life. I also remember when I was there full-time, the campers there calling Neoma Green Aunt Millie. I always thought that was kind of funny, and we had fun talking about it. And also in first year with Peter Leduc, me and him, or him and I were, after the campers had left, we were doing silly things, and we happened to have a little tussle with Dave Lone and actually got him into a mud puddle, which is quite amazing because he's quite a bit bigger than the both of us were together, really. So that was kind of a fun, kind of blown off steam memory of just blowing off steam after the first week of camp. That was pretty cool. The other thing I remember is from Dick Unruh, who had a degree. He could have been a pastor, but he said, well, serve God wherever you're at and do your best there, and eventually you'll get into where you're going to. And that has served me well my whole life. And it's like, so I have a teaching degree. Does it hurt to clean bathrooms? No. And I really appreciate that, and that's helped me a lot in my life.
My favorite memories were probably meeting Brian and a lot of or working together with our CWP group in the counselor work program in Winnipeg and at camp, and just the friendships that came out of that, and be able to serve God together. Some of my most meaningful memories from camp, and I cried then, I'm still crying. While we were in Winnipeg, we were required to share our testimonies with the group, and at the time I didn't think much of myself, but Dave Lowen asked me to be one of a handful of people to share their testimonies at staff training, and it meant a lot because he saw potential in me. And later, while counseling at camp, I had a really tough cabin group that would be with me for 2 weeks in the Outpost program, and Cliff Dirksen sat down with me I remember at a picnic table near the dining hall, and he just shared advice with me that has served me well, I would say all my life. So those are some of my most meaningful memories at camp.
Have a good 75th. Wish we could be there.
Thanks.
My name is Lily. You know me as Lily Lowen. Today I am Lily Queering. I have been for 22 years, and it's been good. I started Camp Arnes, I think, in 57, and we had a really good time, but it was sort of exploring and expanding. I was there until every summer until 64. I came back in 1970 when we started with outdoor ed, and that was a wonderful exploratory experience. then full-time from 72 to 96. Some of you may remember that a stray snowball hit my throat and I was totally speechless for a number of months. So I took a break of a year and a half, and after that they said, Lily, please come back. And I did, until 96. Wonderful memories. But Arnes, during all those years, had two programs. There was Outdoor Ed, September through June. Then there was summer, which sort of began from May till August. And when I think of a question that you asked was, what did you learn in all those years? What did you learn? I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about different age levels. But what really impressed me was the power of prayer, the role of prayer, the impact that prayer could make. We had some miraculous experiences. What do I wish? Every one of us has a story. What are we doing with these stories? And so many of them bring us closer to the Lord. And I figure, what should you guys be doing on this weekend? You should be praising the Lord. And the psalm that came to me was Psalm 103. It begins with, praise the Lord. I tell myself with my whole heart, I will praise his holy name. And he continues, praise the Lord. I tell myself. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we need to sit back, reflect, recall, share, and take time to praise the Lord. The psalmist continues, I tell myself, and never forget the good things he has done for you. He forgives all my sins. Isn't forgiveness the message that we have at Camp Arnes? Whether you're here or there in May and June, July, and August, whether you're there in summer or year-round, we got to tell others of the Lord.
Our vision is for camp to be a vibrant ministry where every aspect of the camp is under God's blessing. Mm-hmm. Every person engaged in the camp, from the board of directors to staff to campers to parents of campers, be under God's blessing, that this place continue to be a place where God blesses people.